kind of disrespectful putting ads on people who maybe don't even want ads on their videos, but they better make banks. The only reason I read this comment is because I wanted to read that bit at the end. Battle mate banks. This feels all new. It's like sit down with vidIQ. Hello everyone, welcome back. If you saw recently, YouTube made some massive changes to their monetization policies, which have got all of you a little bit wrangled. When we posted on the community tab and the video, we got a phenomenal response, so I thought I'd read through some of those comments and yeah, let's discuss them. And what better way than to start with this comment. I'm really sorry, laughing emoji with a teardrop. Could someone dumb this down to me? Like way, way, way down. I am an idiot, smug emoji. Sorry to hear that, PJ Bills. Basically, I can see that you have 100 subscribers. And what that means is that YouTube is going to place adverts on your content, potentially make revenue from it, and you're not going to see an absolute penny. Does that dumb it down enough? This is only in the US, right? Because yesterday I saw YouTube on Twitter urging US creators to check their terms of service. That is correct. The terms of service for this have now come into effect in the US, and YouTube say that this will be spread out across the rest of the world in mid-2021. Although I have been seeing some comments saying that it might not be legal to do this in other countries because of consumer protection. Yes, I have seen ads on my videos without being monetized. Already saw this a few months ago. And you know, that kind of makes me think about whether YouTube have been doing this for a while. Almost subconsciously, I feel as if I've been seeing lots of videos from all sorts of creators that have ads on them for years and years and years, but I don't know if just my memory is failing me there. I guess another reason for ads being on videos already for channels who weren't monetized is because it was copyrighted content and the copyright owner is placing ads on your videos. But again, I don't know your personal circumstances, I could be wrong there. But have you ever seen adverts on random videos of less than 1,000 subscribers in the past? Not fair. I work hard to make my videos, driving to stores 2 or 4 times a week, staying up late editing. And yeah, this is where we kind of get into the personal stories here of people who are working tirelessly on their content and not getting any reward for it right now, only to discover that they're putting in the same amount of effort and now YouTube is going to profit from it. And from a principal point of view, as I stated in the previous video, that does kind of stink. But there's nothing, unfortunately, you can do about it. This also affects current partners. As the inventory increases, the rate goes down with demand. Also, this gives YouTube an incentive to create more videos that gain them 100% of the revenue. People who are in the YouTube Partner Program are all of a sudden now having to compete with potentially millions more videos, which YouTube has more of an incentive to place ads on because they get 100% of the revenue. That sounds very underhand, and I can't imagine YouTube are going to do that in reality, but that's the assumptions that we jump to when YouTube do this kind of thing. I think they should just lower the YouTube Partner Program requirements. YouTube would still make money and they would make their creators extremely happy. That's an interesting compromise approach. Let's say you're a creator and you haven't yet met the requirements. YouTube starts advertising on your content and you may say, okay YouTube, I'm going to allow you to do this, but in return I want to be able to enter the YouTube Partner Program at 500 subscribers and 2,000 hours worth of watch time. Since you've already legitimized my content by placing ads on them, I kind of quite like that idea. I think this one might be going a little bit too far though. I don't mind as long as YouTube automatically gives us 1 sub for each of our videos they advertise on. Sub for cash? Sub for cash, anyone? The new sub for sub? Go on. It actually really works. This seems terrible for creators. More inventory likely leads to lower CPM, right? The only win is if YouTube convert the massive profit they pull in to faster platform improvements. So this is another larger channel who's recognizing, hang on, my videos are going to be competing all of a sudden against potentially millions more channels and they didn't earn the right to get into the YouTube Partner Program. Interesting also that he points out that yes, YouTube, if you are going to make money out of this, where is that money going to go? And I feel as if there should be some sort of creator fund or pot that is generated from all of this extra revenue so that we know that if creators are earning cash for YouTube without the reward, personally to them, then the least YouTube should be doing is placing that profit back into the creators as a whole. This one's also in a similar vein of trying to give something back to the community. I would say it would be better to receive perks at least. The money isn't much to compensate them running adverts on it. And how I envisage that myself is a channel again, under 1,000 subscribers, YouTube starts monetizing their content and the creator says, okay, you can run adverts on my content. I won't receive any income from that, but what I would like is early access to the community tab, or being able to do super chats, or merchandise, or you give me priority application so that when I do apply for the YouTube Partner Program, it's processed in days rather than weeks. Again, fair compromise? Bogus! My first reaction is lawsuit. And I'm not even a lawsuit type of guy. Interesting question. Are there any legal experts out there? Is this a possible case for a class action lawsuit? Of course, I have no idea, but I just assume anything legally is possible in the United States, if you know what I mean. Here's another take a little, give it a little. Now they should give us our shorts watch time. My watch time is 8,000 hours plus on analytics, but only 100 plus in the monetization tab. So this is all to do with YouTube Shorts, where the watch time on YouTube Shorts don't count towards monetization in the YouTube Partner Program. The problem with this is if YouTube did decide that those hours count towards monetization, once you are in the YouTube Partner Program, unfortunately, you can't monetize YouTube Shorts, so you'd still be stuck not being able to earn any money. But that is another interesting side point. You can't monetize YouTube Shorts, so in order to prevent YouTube from monetizing your content, you should make YouTube Shorts. Everyone wins. Not really. As a Bible channel, my plan was never to apply for the partner program because I did not want any ads on my videos. This seems wrong because I don't want any interruption to my videos. I should be allowed to turn them off. And I thought this was going to be the case for some type of channels where adverts of a certain kind or any kind just don't align with the beliefs of the creator, which I think plainly is wrong. Here's an interesting way of putting it, see if you agree with this analogy. YouTube probably has never seen this amount of revenue this year, but it's made them even more hungry. It's like this. You work at a restaurant and you aren't eligible for a tip, but the tips that you get go right to the restaurant owner and not to the employee. Yeah, I can kind of see how that works. As always, when YouTube do something that annoys their creators, this chestnut comes up. Eventually, hopefully, a competitor company that is much better and fairer to content creators will emerge. YouTube has seriously gone downhill over the years. The problem is how much it costs to host the massive amount of server space to store all of those millions of uploads and live streams. Here's another compromise deal being offered, and I think this creator is trying to start a movement as well. I have a suggestion. YouTube should at least give us 10% of the revenue. Spread the word. Well, it's on this video now. If you want to spread the word, see if you can all get 10% from that revenue. Good luck. The problem is with all of this, the moment you actually get some money from YouTube, you have to go through all of the YouTube Partner Program requirements, which we have a video on. That means setting up a Google AdSense account, agreeing to all of the terms and conditions of the YouTube Partner Program, and then the application process. Imagine millions more channels applying at the same time for this process. Is there a go-between, a middle ground? I don't think YouTube has any appetite to set that up so that you get 10% of the revenue. Also, if you're wondering why I'm reading all of these in landscape on my phone, it's because I've taken screenshots. So if I turn it portrait, yeah, I've got no chance of reading that. Anyway, moving on, this creator says it sounds like a huge scam unless they provide retroactive payments for before you enter the program, since they are going to be running the ads anyway. And will creators get to choose where the ads go? ASMR is a no-go for adverts in the middle of videos. Not fair for smaller creators. That is an excellent point about viewer satisfaction. Imagine you're sitting back and relaxing to this slow-paced ambience of an ASMR video, and then all of a sudden it's obliterated by a noisy, pacey video from an advert, and you're taken completely out of the experience. And the worst thing is, for one of these channels, you potentially have no control over where those videos are placed. It's one thing for YouTube to start advertising on your channel. It's an entirely another thing to start ruining the flow of your content through adverts because you can't decide where they go. The first thing this makes me think is that Google is pushing the YouTube premium subscriptions. Another way of looking at the cash-in perspective of this. Maybe YouTube wants to put so many adverts on so many videos that viewers get frustrated enough to purchase YouTube Premium. But why would you want to try and push free users onto a paid service which they don't necessarily want? Well, it's the same as pushing content users from a free model to an advertising model when they don't benefit from it. Oh, I'm just getting so cynical. It's not good for creators. Google Ads works based on bidding. When there are more channels to show the ads on, it will decrease the competition for advertisers, so they pay less in the long run. I think it will decrease the income of monetized channels and increase Google revenue. This goes back to the question of supply and demand. When advertisers have more videos to choose from, and they're all in this bidding war and auctioning off available advertising space, if there is more supply, then you assume those advertisers will ultimately pay a little bit less. But we're going deep down the advertising mechanics here. I think this one comes from the school of monopoly, whereby you offer things for free until you've crushed all your competition and then start putting a price on everything. First Google Photos, then YouTube ads. This happens when you give a platform too much power and they don't have any competitors to worry about. You want it now, you have it. Just wait, Google, your time will finally come. Yeah, I guess so. It is a good point though about some of the Google services either being now behind a price wall or disappearing. For example, I've just realized that Google Print's not going to work for my printer at the end of the year. What's all that about? Rob says he isn't a business expert and has no degree in economics. Well, I do happen to have a business degree and a minor in economics, so let me tell you that it doesn't take a degree to see what's going on here. Rob is bang on. The benefits YouTube is... he just said I'm bang on, I don't need to carry on with this. However, if you do want to read the rest of this comment, you've got 1 second to pause and read. So there you have it, folks. That was a mere seasoning of the 1,000 comments that we've already had on this topic, and no doubt we'll have many more. And if you enjoyed this video, then maybe I'll do a second reaction video. Do let me know in the comments below. We've already done a discussion about this in our live stream over here, so do check it out. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope that this isn't going to stop you from creating. Enjoy the rest of your video making day, as long as you keep creating videos.